Welcome everyone to a Hearts of Iron 4 mod spotlight featuring Kazakia, a new nation, of course, formed by the Don Cossacks, who are just kind of these steppe cavalry warriors in, of course, southern Russia. Sometimes fighting for the Tsar, sometimes fighting against them, and clearly in this mod they gained independence during the Russian Civil War, as you may know. They are ruled by the Military Circle, a non-aligned group, of course composed of mostly white Russian officers. But they are a pretty big nation, of course, as you can see, encompassing most of the Don region and the general steppes of southern Russia. Caucasus has been retransferred to a Transcaucasian Soviet Federative Socialist Republic, because of course with Kazakia in the way, the Kremlin can't really control this area as well as before. And they do have quite a big population, around 13 million, with 14 factories right at the start, so very poor when it comes to industry, but their army is at least very strong. They have 17 infantry divisions and 18 Cossack cavalry divisions. The Cossacks are four battalions, and the infantry are 9 battalions, so not bad at all for an army. They also have their own generals. Looking at this, as you can see, they have their own advisors, their own industrial companies and theorists, and of course military staff. So overall, there's a nice balance there. And they also have 2 national spirits: the Cossack discipline for more cavalry attack, and a little bit of extra recruitable population. Now, they also have quite a bit of internal strife. As you can see, there's quite a lot of parties. There is the Cossack Military Union, the Red Dawn, and the Conservative Party of Kazakia, although all of these aren't exactly a united faction. They're more coalitions of different parties. So this is where we get to the national focus. Speaking of the political part of the national focus, you have to choose an ataman, which is a Cossack warlord, essentially. And then you can go down different paths, either trying to, of course, go for more a fascist line, a more monarchist line with the Black Hundreds, trying to restore Russian Tsarism. And then you also have an option of going with a constitutional system and trying to establish a republic. You also have the option of returning different white generals to your cause and trying to strengthen yourself that way. And then you also have, of course, the option of trying out a bit of socialism, either going against the Soviets, trying to stay with the Soviets, and even forming your own coalition of Caucasus nations to try to resist various different foreign influences. There's also a nice little army tree. That's pretty much what you expect. A little bit of extra research, a little bit of extra land doctrine bonuses, and then a couple of fortifications. One facing the Soviet Union, and another one facing the south. So of course, that's kind of what you'd expect from all of that. And really, the thing that, in my opinion, is a little bit nice about this is that the way everything is polished. As you can see, everything's got its own icon that looks very nice. There's a couple of nice touches in there. For example, as you can see, there's these 3 focuses: Kuban, Terek, and Astrakhan rights. Well, see, this is because the Cossacks aren't a unified group. There were the Don Cossacks over here around, of course, the Don Basin. There were, of course, the Astrakhan Cossacks around this city. The Terek Cossacks around this river, the Terek River, in I guess you could say southern Russia, right near the border of Azerbaijan and Georgia. And then you have, of course, the Kuban Cossacks, centered around Ekaterinodar, now Krasnodar, in this region, right opposing Crimea. And in this mod, they aren't all exactly part of one united state. They're all kind of independent, and of course the Don Cossacks are the ones ruling over everybody else from Rostov over here. And so you don't actually have cores on Yekaterinodar, Astrakhan, and Grozny states. So you have to actually gain yourself cores by giving them rights, which is quite nice because you also get a little bit of extra manpower and national unity that you desperately need. So that's really good. The problems come in when we look at the industry national focus. As you can see, just quickly glancing at it, I've already made up the count. You get 21 factories between all of these focuses, which is simply Stalinist level of industrialization. And for example, the Polish focus tree, only gives you like five factories. And of course, Poland is a lot more developed at the start, so it would make sense for Poland to be able to get more factories quicker. But no, you get a really, really large amount of factories from that industrial focus, which, to be fair, you do need to compete with the Soviets. Although the question really begs, should you be able to compete with the Soviets? Or should you have to kind of do some work and trying to defeat the AI? And that is possible without ridiculous buffs. Another issue gets to the manpower issue, even though that doesn't really make a lot of sense. You get a lot of manpower bonuses from various different events and national focuses. Of course, the return of white emigres, return of our people, and then going down the advice from Skuro. All of these do give you quite a lot of manpower, even, of course, absolutism, militarization of society. Yeah, you get the deal. Whatever path you take, you will get a lot of manpower. And, of course, that is good because you need the manpower, and even when you gain some extra core population off of these free states, Astrakhan, Ekaterinodar, and Grozny, you're going to still be struggling when it comes to manpower, of course, since you're also facing the Soviets. But then you go ahead and look at the territories of the Soviet Union, and for some reason they're all your cores. Even, for example, Babruysk in Belarus, even Murmansk up here in the north, and going all the way east, Vladivostok is your core, Kamchatka is your core. So, of course, what this represents is that Kazakia is the spiritual heir of White Russia, right? So when you're going into more Russian lands, you're still going to have a way to rule over them. But then why do you have cores over, for example, the Central Asian republics? And even overall, the northwestern region of Russia at this point is fairly firmly under Soviet power. So it's kind of hard to imagine a Leningrad university student kind of accepting the overlordship of some general from, some warlord from the south. It seems kind of weird. What would be better is if there would be some select areas, for example, over western Ukraine and southern Ukraine, and then maybe some of these areas in central Russia that you could gain as scores after you control them. For example, in some branch of this focus tree where you get either a Russian Tsar to rule over you or the Russian Duma to rule over you, so reforming Russia. Overall, that I think would be better for the theme that the mod is going for, because it's kind of weird that you don't really have the ability to control the Cossacks in Yekaterinodar right south of Rostov, but you can control Murmansk right here in the Arctic. So to me, that does not really make too much sense. And yeah, that's gonna be about it. I haven't actually played a game as the Cossacks, but it sounds pretty interesting. I might do that one day. Of course, as always, I did not create the mod. The link for the mod will be in the description, and all credit goes to the mod creators. Thank you for creating this very, very interesting little scenario where southern Russia sort of breaks away, and for making it so very well varied when it comes to the political side. Of course, there's also a nice little, uprising that you can start in Russia, so there's a lot of options that you can have to get yourself some extra advantages against the Soviets. And that's kind of why I think it's very weird that the Cossacks have cores over all the the current Soviet Union, which is, kind of strange overall. But yes, overall, very, very well done, very well polished when it comes to, of course, all of the graphics. And yeah, basically, link will be in the description. Try it out. I hope you try it. Hope you enjoy it. If you disagree with anything, please tell me in the comments. And if you liked it, like it. If you disliked it, smash that dislike button. I always want to know what people think about it. And I'll see you soon.